Have you ever think that maybe everything is an illusion? Maybe everything we see just don't exist, or is just different than we think it is. Maybe it's the way how we are perceiving the world. Maybe it's something else. Today we will talk about that with the painting that I've created by the name Perception of Maya, which means perception of illusion. So, if you're interested in the story behind that painting, stick to this video till the end and enjoy watching it. Hey everyone, today we will talk about illusion. This painting is by the name Perception of Maya, perception of illusion. Maya means illusion, and we will talk about that today. So, illusion means that things appear to us as we believe that they appear, which means that things exist, but they are not as we think they are, which is kind of tricky to understand, but I will explain you what I mean with that. The reason that I've painted it was to show people that reality and everything we know is not just the way that we think it is. And the problem here is that we are trying to explain somebody else how something looks like, how something feels like, how something is. But the truth is that every one of us can experience the same thing differently. We can go out in the nature and one can say, "Oh, what a beautiful place." And the second one can say, "Oh, I don't want to be here, it's boring." So, to understand that, it was so interesting when I started painting. People that I know said to me that, what are those weird paintings? Nobody wants to buy that. Why you are doing this? And then I had an exhibition and people started walking into a place where my paintings were on the walls, and they were like, "Whoa, this is amazing. This is truly interesting. We really need this, more of that." And the same people, again, after a few months later, came back to me and say, "Oh, those paintings are really interesting now." When they saw that people are buying this, the same people say, "Whoa, this is interesting, nice, you really figured that out." So how the same people with same mindset can see now different meaning in the same thing? It's our perception, how we are perceiving the world, how we are perceiving the image that we have about everything we know. And this can change our life, because everything is much bigger than we think it is and then we know. And I started researching that before I painted it. I started researching how is this possible, that we can see one and the same thing in so many different ways. And there's so many scientific researches that show that the particle which creates the physical objects are appearing to us based on how we believe they will appear to us. So, wherever we place our attention, there the particles will appear. But they will appear in a way we believe that they will appear, which is not the same thing as how we will think they will appear. It's how we will believe they will appear. And beliefs are so strongly dipped in our mind. And that is hard to change, but we can change it. We can change our beliefs to see everything beautiful. We can change our beliefs to see everything so perfect. So, why this painting here? I will explain you everything. So, here is a person, as you can see, and here is a landscape, a whole field of landscape. And the whole point here is that here is his brains, and I created a picture here how he sees this landscape. So in his brain, he can see everything totally normally. He can see his hand, he can see the park here, the mountains, everything he sees totally natural, how we see it. But what is actually behind everything here is like the picture, what we don't see. You know, all the energy in the nature. We can't see the energetic spots of different person. Here is another person. The aura of the person. I mean, some people can see it. And then all the sides of dimensions, the distance of the space, the length, the time, all those things are illusion. So if we would take away the time, there is no distance, because it can't, because you can't travel without time. And if we would took space outside of here, there would be no time, because it would make sense. So the time and space here are this illusion which creates this painting. And then here is another field which is hard to see, but when this guy is sticking his hand into this field, this is another field, like another dimension. He's just entering into a new field of energy, which we can say when we walk into a room and we say, oh, here is such a good energy, or here is a productive place, I feel really productive here. And then you go to nature and say, oh, I feel really relaxed. Those are those different fields of energy, and this is what this field represents. And then we can see the sky. The sky can be everything we can imagine. If we look into the night sky, we see the stars, but we can see also ourselves there, because the stars are made from the same thing that our cells in the body are made, which means that we are created from the same thing as the stars. So another thing where we can lost ourselves is just looking into the sky and become present with it. Just becoming this time right here, because this is everything that exists. Only right here and right now we can change our beliefs, we can change our perceptions, we can change our thoughts. And after that, everything else will change, because we will start to perceiving a new perception. A new perception will create a new image. A new image will create new emotions in our body, because we will see everything differently. And new emotions will create new things, because that is the way how we can communicate with that field of energy. I'm talking that in many of my videos, and I will repeat again, if everything exists in a quantum field, which means field of infinite possibilities, there needs to be a way to communicate with that field. And scientists can show you now that we can communicate with that field through our emotions. Emotions are like a language to communicate with that field of energy. So we have this power inside us to communicate with the energy, which means that we can create, or we can take something from that quantum field through our emotions. It's not the words, it's not the thoughts, it's our emotions. But thoughts creates emotions. So this was the whole story behind this painting. It was a powerful one. Another thing was that I was watching What the Bleep Do We Know, and many of you guys know this movie. And it shows so nice how the particles are appearing to us when we look at them. When we don't place our attention to them, they don't exist. They're not there. because we don't know if they are there, but as soon as we look, they appear there. And that is this story of illusion. But I know everyone can perceive it differently. So please write your story, what you see in this painting, because everyone can see this different story in the same painting, because our thoughts work so differently. Our beliefs are different. It's like we are different. Every one of us is a unique being. So don't attach so much to the beliefs of other persons, because that is not your life. This is a life of someone else, who lives a life of someone else, who lives a life of someone else. But how to experience your own life? You need to search your own life. You need to look within yourself. You need to quiet down your thoughts. Go to meditate. You need to research yourself, that you are able to live your own life. And this painting was created pieces by pieces, because I never see sometimes I see a clear picture of, a clear vision of the painting, but this one was truly complex. And I know that there will be a guy who walking into a different field of energy, but then all the colors and everything. So I was painting it 1 week. I set attention, I want to see the next piece of this painting. And I saw the next piece, and then still again I went to paint it, and again when I didn't know what next, I went back to meditate. I asked myself, what will be the next piece of the puzzle? So that was the process of creating it. And then when I finished it, I decided to make this being as a light inside of it. And that was the next step or idea for the next painting, which was after that. You will see it somewhere here. I Am the Light is the name of the next painting behind this one, and I will explain that in the next video of showing my paintings. And with the light inside the body, I mean that we are that light, but I will explain it more in the next video, in the next introduction of the painting. So yes, this is it for today. This is about perception of Maya. Please write in the comments what is your opinion of illusion, or how you came across that idea. Are you figuring out how you're perceiving the world, or what are your beliefs, how you can change it, how you can change your beliefs? Because at the end of the day, what matters is, do you live in peace? Do you live happy? And it all starts here inside us. So there is not a way I want to manifest a lot of money that I will be happy. I want a job that I will be happy. Beliefs can make that. Beliefs can manifest. Feelings, emotions can manifest money and all the things, but it does not matter that we will be happy after that. And that's the trick. We can manifest whatever we want, but it's not the meaning of life to just manifest things and, keep trying to be happy. Life is not about trying, life is about being. And when we will just be here right now, we will be happy. And I believe that this painting can teach us that life is much bigger than we think it is, and we can always change the way we're perceiving it. Blessings and love to all of you beautiful people, and see you in the next one.